Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Mountains to Coast session, and welcome to your panelists.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay in us getting started. Hannah, if you want to go ahead and throw up the slides, we will begin. We're excited to be with you all this afternoon, or this morning. Oh my gosh, it's Friday and the end of the week. So glad you all are here. We're excited to talk with you all about some options in North Carolina. So before we get started, I'm just going to have each panelist do a brief introduction so you all know who you're speaking with this morning, who we are, what school we represent before we dive in. So I will go ahead and start with Emmeline.
So hey guys, welcome. So excited to talk with you guys this morning. But my name is Emmeline Greer and I am one of the assistant directors at Appalachian State University.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Hannah Morgan, and I am the Senior Assistant Director of First Year Admissions at UNC Wilmington. Glad you all are joining us this morning.
And I am Chelsea Whitman. I am an Assistant Director at UNC Charlotte, and also excited to be with you all. All right, so getting started, we are going to be covering information about our schools throughout today's session. And so certainly feel fortunate to be in a state like North Carolina that has so many awesome locations, from the beautiful mountains in Western North Carolina to some phenomenal cities, and then obviously our gorgeous coast on the opposite side of the state. We just want to highlight essentially how these different locations really play a role in your overall academic experience as well as your social experience. So let's take a quick trip across the Carolinas to learn a bit more about how your four-year experience looks in each individual location. So to get started, this is just an overview and kind of how we broke down the session. So we're going to each individually be highlighting a brief overview of our university, showing some similarities and some differences with each of our schools, as well as I mentioned, discussing the impact of geographical location, both academically and socially. And then at the end, we are going to save time to share tips on how to narrow down your college search and kind of help you make the selection when you have so many options. In reality, not just in North Carolina, obviously, but across the country and the globe. So we will share some tips there. So hopefully you all are excited to get started with us this morning, as we're excited to be with you. So really quickly, just to illustrate kind of where our campuses are located and how we're kind of spread out across the full state of the Carolinas. This is just to illustrate where our campuses are situated within the map or the state of North Carolina. So we're going to first take a closer look at App, and I'm going to pass it over to Emmeline.
Perfect. Thank you, Chelsea. So let's talk about App State. Appalachian is nestled within the Blue Ridge Mountains in Boone, North Carolina, and the university and the surrounding area offers such an ideal mix of outdoor adventure, cool vibes, nationally ranked athletics, and world-class cultural events. But there is so much to do in this college town, like hiking, kayaking, skiing. But if you do want to head out of town, we are 2 to 3 hours away from our major cities in North Carolina. So it's definitely doable to get away for a day or a weekend trip. But what does it look like to be a student here? So App has a total student population of around 20,000 students, and we have over 150 different majors to choose from. So there is a path for everyone here. With some of our most popular programs being in business, education, psychology, sustainability, and nursing. And you're going to see some of these popular programs as well with UNCW and UNC Charlotte, which is really exciting that we all share that in common. But across all programs, App State's small campus feel is really showcased in the classroom. So our average class size really shows our commitment to community engagement, and that you can always be assured that you're going to have the opportunity to build those relationships with your professors as well as your classmates. So in 1899, App State was founded as a teacher's college. So still today, education is one of our most popular programs. With so many teacher education graduates working within the state of North Carolina, we have at least one App State education grad within each county in North Carolina, which is really cool that we get teachers everywhere across North Carolina. But we partner with our public schools to provide numerous field experiences, and one of which that I just can talk about briefly is called Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is a program at App State where students in Watauga County are bused into our campus for an after-school program. But during this program, App State education students will create lesson plans and then have the opportunity to have that engagement with those elementary age students. And that's just a great way to get our students exposed to teaching prior to that student teaching field experience as well. So we have, I think with education, over 5 or 6 field experiences, which is so great. We want you guys to have that practical working experience. We have other wonderful opportunities to get our students engaged and in the classroom. But one fantastic opportunity available for our incoming students is called ACES. Our ACES program stands for the Appalachian Community of Education Scholars. And this is a 4-year program for our future teachers that are focusing on mentoring, leadership, service, and that professional development. But all first-year ACES students have the opportunity to live in the same residential hall, which is great because it provides that sense of community amongst all those education majors. One thing that's specific to our location that many students are interested in is sustainability. Sustainability is a tradition, not a trend at App State. It's one thing that we always talk about, but we ensure that we provide so many great ways for our students to get engaged with sustainability on campus. And our students have the opportunity to be a part of the Sustainability Research Farm. The Sustainability Research Farm is located a couple miles off campus, and it's a great way for our students to either do their classwork out there, their lab work out there, but many of our students get engaged with research on this farm as well. But we welcome all students to get involved with learning more about sustainability, as I said before, and one of our most popular on-campus organizations is called Team Synergy. Team Synergy is a multidisciplinary, student-led and student-driven research project where students utilize that sustainability energy cars within those car competitions as a platform to talk about sustainability. Students on this team come from such a diverse range of academic program backgrounds, such as physics, sustainable technology, business, music, and computer science. And actually, their most recent car is housed in the North Carolina Science Museum. So check that out whenever that becomes available for everyone again. But an app's mountain location is ideal for not only sustainability, but also environmental science. Our location allows for students to analyze stream systems, hazards, risk assessment, forest ecology, air quality, and so many recreational practices on soil and water resources as well. Within our program, resources for hands-on learning is readily available for all students. As you can see in this picture below, students have the opportunity to get out there in the creeks and really have that hands-on learning experience, which is awesome. So outside the classroom, there are so many ways for students to get involved. So life as a Mountaineer is pretty great, but an important and evident key principle at App State is our community engagement. We actually have an office that is dedicated to our community engagement, and it is called the ACT office, which stands for Appalachian and the Community Together. Oftentimes, professors collaborate with the ACT office to get their students actively involved with community service. So just one example that I can talk about with the ACT office that they host our dance marathon. The dance marathon is a 15-hour event where students can participate and raise money for the Western Youth Network. And students register for an online donation platform, and donors can pledge money to the student dedicating their time to this dance marathon. So it's a really fun event. Many of our students choose to participate, and it's a great way to get that community engagement opportunity. With our location being in the mountains, our students really enjoy exploring the outdoors. As a student, you can rent outdoor equipment such as climbing gear, kayaks, tents, whatever you need to do through our UREC rental system, which is so cool. Students can just use their student ID card to rent those. In our Gen Ed curriculum, also, we do require 2 health and wellness classes. So these are also known as maybe what you know as PE credit classes. And you can also take these in the classroom, but I encourage you to take full advantage of the unique opportunities with these. So with our health and wellness classes, some classes that are offered is skiing, snowboarding, whitewater rafting, rock climbing, hiking. So those are great ways to get engaged with the outdoors and to really take advantage of our local area. But one of the most iconic things about App State is our school spirit. Every App State student receives free admission to all of our varsity level sporting events, but one of our biggest ones on campus is our football team. We are nationally ranked, 23rd to be exact, as of this past weekend, but students who are going to these games, they just swipe their app card. They are not required to enter a lottery system, which is awesome. So they have guaranteed admission to all of those games. But Saturdays at the Rock are like no other. We absolutely love our football, and we wish that we were able to be there through the month of September, but right now that is on a hold. But we are still nationally televised. But I just have to say that last week we did beat UNCC. So sorry, Chelsea.
Oh, good times. I love it. Fun game. Definitely watched it. All right. So then looking at, it's a great segue to discuss UNC Charlotte. So we are the second largest public university in the state of North Carolina and recognized in this public university system as North Carolina's Urban Research University. Our total enrollment just hit over 30,000 students in total, and you'll see that a large percentage of our total population of students come from those pursuing their bachelor's degrees. So a little over 24,000 undergraduate students currently at UNC Charlotte, and we just enrolled our largest freshman class in school history. So there's been a lot of excitement on our campus in a lot of different areas, but certainly tied to numbers and enrollment. So our freshman class that started with us last week actually is just sitting over 4,000, which, like I said, super exciting. You'll see there in terms of bachelor degree offerings, very similar to what you'll see in terms of numbers at App, and that we have 171 bachelor's degree programs. Some overlap there really across the board in all three of us in terms of those that are most popular. So looking at business, computer science, engineering, and nursing as being our top programs in terms of what draw students to the university. Then you'll see, while we are large in number overall, the academic experience is designed to feel a bit smaller once you're in the classroom. So our students experience, on average, about 35 peers in a class, certainly having some larger than that and absolutely having some smaller than that. We also have a student to faculty ratio of 19:1, so access to faculty and ability to connect with them on an individual and small group basis. We also, looking at academics and essentially how they're leveraged. I know I mentioned we have 171 bachelor degree programs, but what I want to do is essentially highlight some of our programs that really capitalize fully on our location in terms of industries that have a strong presence in the greater Charlotte area. So starting with the business, the Belk College, our deep-rooted partnerships with business leaders in the Charlotte area absolutely create a dialogue that shapes our industry relevant curriculum and provides one of the nation's most dynamic business cities with valuable research and employable talent. So the Belk College offers 3 undergraduate degrees with a variety of majors. So you can pursue Bachelor of Science in Accounting, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and Bachelor of Science in Economics with majors in Accounting, Business Analytics, Econ, Finance, International Business, Management, Management Information Systems, Marketing and Operations, and Supply Chain. Certainly helps that we're in the second largest banking hub in the US. And then I will also mention that startups, in terms of entrepreneurs, that's another big area in the city of Charlotte. A great example of that is the 704 shop, which is a local shop here in Charlotte, actually started or created by 2 UNC Charlotte graduates. They're a trendy shop with a lot of Charlotte, the city apparel, 704, and that's just a strong example of entrepreneurs and startup companies in the greater Charlotte area. Health and Human Services and the health sciences is another major industry in the Charlotte area. So advancing health and well-being through inclusive, innovative, and equity-based practices in teaching, research, and service. Our College of Health and Human Services offers majors in nursing, exercise science, social work, and public health. We're very fortunate to have very strong, reputable hospitals and healthcare systems in our immediate location of Charlotte, having both Atrium Health and Novant Health. But in terms of looking at the scope, in terms of bigger picture, We're also proud to be in a location that serves as the third largest healthcare system in the Southeast region. And then engineering, certainly want to highlight them. For more than 50 years, the Williams State's Lee College of Engineering has been one of the finest engineering colleges in the Southeast. Through the involvement of area businesses and industry professionals, students gain valuable real-world experience with companies like Duke Energy, Westinghouse, Areva, and so forth. So we're fortunate in terms of how our students are able to capitalize and take advantage of their opportunities inside the classroom and how they kind of fold over into the city for valuable experience as well. Then when you want to take a look beyond the classroom and what is life like in the Queen City as a 49er. So on campus, we have over 400 clubs and organizations, 18 Division I athletic teams, and over 50 club sports and intramural teams as well. Study abroad being very big. So there's certainly a lot to do, a robust campus life on our immediate campus. But we sit essentially 9 miles north of the center point of the city. So there is some physical separation between the campus itself and the heart of the city. I think our students really appreciate that about their experience in terms of having a very traditional college campus feel when they're at UNC Charlotte and on campus with direct access and close proximity to a major metropolitan location. So our students have direct access to the largest city in North Carolina, accessible via light rail that you see in this picture, but students enjoy professional sporting events, the U.S. National Whitewater Center for opportunities of whitewater rafting, rock climbing, mountain biking, running, all of those fun outdoor activities, and an exciting live music scene that range from small music venues all the way up to large outdoor amphitheaters. We also have restaurants and museums and so much more in the greater Charlotte area that our students really take full advantage of, essentially as an extension of campus and their experience here in the Queen City.
All right, wonderful. So moving on to UNCW, we are considered North Carolina's coastal university and positioned within the UNC system. We are considered a mid-sized public institution with nearly 18,000 students as of this fall, which is pretty exciting. The majority of our student population are those undergraduate students, as undergraduate students really are our focus with nearly 15,000 undergraduates. We do have 56 bachelor's degrees to choose from. As Chelsea and Emmeline mentioned, there certainly is some overlap there in terms of things like business, communication studies, some programs that are unique to UNCW and that we may be a little bit more known for. You've probably heard of marine biology, film studies, which I'll talk about those two in just a minute. Those have some pretty unique applied learning opportunities that are unique to the Wilmington area. But we do have several of the same programs out there and lots of great experiences within each of those programs. The student experience is very important at UNCW. We have an average class size of 27 students and a student to faculty ratio of 18:1. So very small, very engaging class sizes, much like your classes in high school, where you're able to really get that peer-to-peer connection and really get to know your professors. Moving into academics a little bit at UNCW, I mentioned applied learning, which is really the cornerstone of UNCW. Pretty much every single major and every program at UNC Wilmington requires some sort of applied learning component, whether that be an internship that you're going to be asked to do, a service learning project in the community, maybe participate in some undergraduate research with one of your professors or do a direct independent study. Or even studying abroad. We have over 1,000 different study abroad programs in over 50 different countries. So that is something we really encourage our students to do, is to participate in studying abroad and just gain that global perspective, become enriched in another culture and immersed in another culture. It is something we really encourage students to do. You can study abroad for as little as a week over a spring break, for example, with your class and led by your professor. You can study abroad for a semester, a year, or even 2 years through our Cameron School of Business. So great opportunities there. I wanted to point out marine biology and film studies at UNCW just to kind of showcase some of the internship opportunities that you can have through participating in those programs. For marine biology, that is kind of what we're most known for at UNCW, and that is large in part to our coastal location in Wilmington and being on the coast. So you can participate in the Sea Turtle Protection Program with the Bald Head Island Conservancy, which is a really great, exciting opportunity to work with sea turtles and protecting them and conserving them. You could be perhaps a camp counselor with Marine Quest, which is UNCW's marine science outreach program. It is a summer camp that students preschool age all the way up to age 17 can participate in, learn all about marine life, coastal life, participate in things like turtle tracking, kayaking, scuba diving, and really getting that hands-on experience. You could even do an internship at UNCW Center for Marine Science. There's a picture there. It is a huge facility, UNCW owned, UNCW funded, over 170,000 square feet of research. And you can see how close you are. There's direct access to the Intracoastal Waterway, direct access to the Atlantic Ocean. So our marine biology students in their junior and senior year are really able to get into the Center for Marine Science, participate in all kinds of research with shellfish, with oysters, with all kinds of different sea life, doing studies with different fish and coral. So it's really exciting for our students to get that opportunity to really get hands-on within our local environment. Film studies is a really another popular major for us as well, and that is also in part to having Screen Gem Studios in town. Located in downtown Wilmington, it is a 50-acre film lot, and it's been home to more than 350 different productions, some of which may include Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, Iron Man 3. There's been tons of different films that have been filmed in Wilmington, which is pretty exciting, even some on UNCW's campus. So you could be a tour guide at Screen Gem Studios. You could even participate in one of the productions, which is very exciting. We actually have, I believe, 3 different productions happening are slated to happen this year. Cucalouris Film Festival is another opportunity that you can be involved in and perhaps make your own film, or even host and kind of coordinate the film festival. It is one of the largest film festivals in the southern region. So another exciting opportunity for us here. And these are just to name a few. We have tons of different research and internship opportunities that we can help get you set up with. And these are just a few unique to the Wilmington area. So life as a Seahawk at UNCW, what does that look like? We do have, in terms of involvement, over 300 different clubs and organizations. So there's a little something for everyone to get involved in. Surfrider and Plastic Ocean Project here are just 2 that I've pointed out. Those are ones that are, again, unique to UNCW. Surfrider organization and Plastic Ocean Project both have an environmental concentration, and it's with regard to conservation of our oceans and our environmental protection. So really great opportunity for some sustainability interests there. In terms of sports and recreation, we are a Division I school. We have 19 different Division I athletic teams or varsity teams, including beach volleyball. We are one of only 2 institutions in North Carolina that offer beach volleyball as an athletic sport. So very exciting if you're interested in volleyball and playing in the sand. We have 60 different club and intramural sports. So a little something for everyone. We have a surf club, of course, sailing team, wakeboard club, pretty much any water sport you can think of, you can participate in with your friends. In terms of Wilmington and our surrounding area, Wilmington is the 7th largest city in North Carolina. We have just over 120,000 residents. And campus itself, UNCW's campus, we are very lucky that we are very centrally located in Wilmington. So our campus is just 5 miles from Wrightsville Beach in one direction, and then 5 miles from our historic downtown area on the Cape Fear River in the other direction. In addition to Wrightsville Beach, we also have Carolina Beach and Curie Beach just about 20 minutes away. So that is 3 different beaches to choose from. So after you are done with class for the day, you can just kind of bike on out to the beach using our UNC or our Wilmington Cross City Trail. Bike out to the beach if you wanted to, and just kind of kick back, relax. Being in Wilmington and being that we are a beach town, we do have laid back, relaxed beach vibes. You can see the Wilmington riverfront there and the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. Very relaxing, tons of different restaurants right on the riverfront there. We were voted America's #1 riverfront by USA Today a few years ago. So tons of different restaurants and shops that you can explore. In terms of narrowing down your options in the college search process, some of you all may be interested in several different universities or colleges. Some of you may have your heart set on one, but if you are still trying to kind of narrow down your options, I just wanted to touch on some things that you can do to help narrow your focus a little bit. So Chelsea, Emmeline, and I, we talked about what makes App, UNC Charlotte, and UNCW kind of unique. And a big part of that is because of our geographical locations and what we have to offer. You'll find that a lot of colleges, not only in North Carolina, but all over the nation, will have lots of similarities, especially within the UNC system. We'll offer some of the same programs. We have similar enrollment sizes, similar class sizes. So the student experience might be pretty similar, but because of our locations, you might have some different opportunities in terms of student life. So I just want you guys to kind of keep that in mind as you are researching colleges that you're interested in. Researching majors that interest you, that's going to be really important. You know, if you have no idea what you want to major in right away, that is completely okay. If you're undecided, the world is really your oyster. You can kind of apply to whatever colleges interest you. Maybe you can choose based on geographic location. But if you do have a particular major that you're interested in, you want to take that into consideration when choosing what college to apply to or what college to attend. So if you've got a list of majors, you know, if you want something that has to do with the coast, maybe attending App wouldn't be the best thing. If you want something with sustainability, maybe App really is the best college for that. So just kind of, you know, make a pros and cons list and start to kind of narrow down your interests that way that match your educational goals. Researching a college's website can be really important, especially this year. We're in a very unconventional year where there may not be as many on-campus events and open houses and tours happening. So it's really going to be important for you as the student and as an applicant. Do your research on your end to really delve into a college's website, check out the academic profile, the admission requirements, maybe look at the major you're interested in, look at their departmental website, see what kind of things they offer. Doing your research can really help you narrow down your options there. Also, you can explore each college's virtual programming options right now. So pretty much every school, I probably can speak on behalf of everyone here, we're offering some sort of virtual component right now since we're not offering as many in-person opportunities. So get on a college's website, look at their virtual offerings. Most of us are doing virtual open houses, info sessions, webinars, similar like this, you name it, we're probably doing it. So I'd really encourage you to log on to a website and really look at what different programming options they have for you right now. Take a campus tour. It can be virtually if necessary. So if you have not visited campuses of colleges that you're interested in, I'd encourage you to start doing that in any spare time you might have. You can do a self-guided tour and just kind of walk around campus. But if you need to do that virtually, lots of colleges have pretty robust virtual tours on their websites that you can take advantage of, where it's like you are fully, you know, immersed in the college. It looks like you're actually walking around the campus there. But campus tours play a really big role in the college search process because you're really able to interact with faculty, staff, current students, kind of get a vibe for the campus and see if, you know, you can really envision yourself living there and being a student there for the next 4 years. That place is going to be your home and where you're going to spend all your time studying and being a student and interacting with your peers. So it's really important to kind of get on campus and see, you know, what there is to offer you. exploring the surrounding town or the surrounding city is going to be really important. Again, that's where you're going to live for 4 years. So you want to get an idea of, would I enjoy living in this town? Is there, going to be something that fits my interests and matches with my personal and professional interests there? So campus tours can be a really great way to help narrow down your focus a little bit. And then just to wrap up, I just want to reiterate again that colleges, especially in North Carolina, we have lots of different similarities. We tend to have similar programs and similar offerings in terms of student experience. So it's really going to be on you to do your research and kind of figure out which school is going to be the best fit for you.
Thanks, Hannah. That was really good advice, and I completely agree with everything she had to say. But right now, we are open for questions, and you can ask us any specific questions for our specific universities, any questions you have about maybe researching your college search. So the Q&A box is open, so we're going to be here for any questions that you guys have. Also right here, I just want to mention too, while we're sitting right here, here is all of our contact information. So if you don't feel comfortable putting it in this platform, maybe you don't want to ask in the group setting, or maybe you have questions later on, feel free to take a picture of our emails, maybe take a screenshot on your laptop, because we're here to be resources for each and every one of you. We want to help with that research process and be able to really help explore your options. So feel free to email any of us with any of your questions. But I see a question in the chat. And Hannah, this is specifically for you. Do you know when you'll be offering in-person tours for UNCW?
That is a great question. So I will share that we are currently exploring ways to offer tour guide-led campus tours right now. We are hoping to launch that experience again sometime in October. So we're really close to getting that ready. We do want to make sure we're taking the proper precautions and making sure that we're able to offer multiple different tour times with really small groups. We're hoping to do it with 10 people or less. A socially distanced tour, face coverings and all of that required. So hopefully we should have that ready soon in a nice pretty package in the next few weeks here. So I would encourage you to check our website, our main admissions website and our campus visit website for more information on that soon. And if you are a prospective student with us that receives emails from us, you will get notified via email as well when that's ready to go and when you can sign up for those. But we'd love to have you on campus. Thank you for asking that.
Any other questions that you guys may have? I don't know if you guys want to talk about, maybe we can talk a little bit, maybe why actually, we just got a question. Let's see. So if a student's GPA is not as high to get into UNCW, what would you recommend in terms of transferring?
That's a great question. So in terms of GPA for UNCW, on average, our admitted students have between a 3.9 and 4.4 weighted GPA. But keep in mind that is just an average. So we're still admitting students with GPAs below that range as well as above. So if you are falling within that range, you can kind of consider yourself competitive for admission for that piece of the application. But if you're falling a little bit below it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get admitted. So just keep that in mind. But if you find that you would be more interested in transferring to UNCW, or perhaps you're denied admission as a freshman, you can certainly transfer. We have a really robust transfer pathway for students. All you really need is, it's recommended to have at least 24 college credit hours sort of under your belt and a minimum cumulative GPA towards that college coursework of a 2.5.
Okay, we have another, okay, just a comment. Thank you, she said. But maybe we can talk a little bit about, while we're waiting for some questions to go in, some virtual ways to connect for each of our institutions. You know, talking about contacting us and any questions. For App State, we have some different opportunities available. As Hannah mentioned before, I think all of us have virtual campus tours, but we have virtual campus tours. Right now, we are offering video chats. So you can sign up for a 30-minute session of one-on-one time, and that is like a Zoom session where you're able to have a face-to-face conversation with your admissions counselor. Each one of you are already assigned admissions counselors to App State, so you can just go in and sign up for your personal admissions counselor's one-on-one session. And they're usually 30 minutes, so you can sit down and ask any specific questions that you have. We also have a Zoom lobby, so you don't have to schedule that session if you're unavailable to. If you just have a quick question off the top of your head, you can click that Zoom lobby and pop right in, and one of the admissions counselors, myself included, will be in there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So definitely take full advantage of those opportunities, because it's a great way to ask any specific questions that you have, to connect with your admissions counselor, and to really learn more about the institution. So if y'all want to talk a little bit about what you guys have to offer right now.
Sure. So our options at UNC Charlotte are very similar to apps in terms of virtual ways to connect. So we have a virtual lobby, very similar to apps that you can drop in anytime from 9 to 4. Where there will be an admissions counselor available to answer questions. You can always reach us by phone, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We also have virtual campus visits that incorporate not only an information session, but also a guided tour virtually of campus. So that's about an hour experience where you get to hear from a student and actually see a lot of our spaces on campus. And then we are also offering our virtual open house on Saturday, October 24th. That's more of a robust event that will allow you to connect with others across campus. So areas of interest in your academic departments, campus life offices, residential spaces, things like that. So that will be a combination of live information sessions, some pre-recorded content, but a good way to learn more about UNC Charlotte is attending open house, and registration for that should open shortly. I will say too, in addition to that, we will start offering in-person options for small guided walking tours of campus starting in the month of October.
And then at UNCW, our options are very similar as well. We do have virtual one-on-one appointments that you can schedule. We have kind of all of our virtual offerings accumulated on a virtual sessions website. So you can just go to our admissions page and see that. But it's a combination of content for admitted students, prospective students, where you can, sit in on webinars with different departments on campus, hear from different students. We're recording student experience videos, which has been really fun. And then we also have a virtual open house as well, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And similar to UNC Charlotte, we're going to have a mix of both live and pre-recorded sessions. So you may get invited to that or get an email about it if you haven't already. But we're very excited to get connected to you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I should have mentioned that we have our fall open house as well. I just can't believe it's already close to that time, so it didn't even register with me. But our fall open house is October 17th, so coming up in just a couple of weeks. So definitely register for all 3 of those events because open house is such a great way to get engaged with the community of the campus and to learn, as they both talked about, the academics, getting engaged with professors. So I definitely encourage fall open house if you're able to have that opportunity or able to attend those sessions. But it looks like we have just a few more minutes. So if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to drop that in the Q&A box and we're happy to answer.
And I'll add too, I know none of us plugged this, but we all have another great way to get information and continue learning about our schools is through social media, Instagram, Facebook, I would say, Twitter probably for all of us, but I know Instagram is, we're all very visible on that platform, and that's a great way. Following the university accounts as well as the admissions accounts. Oftentimes you get a lot of the information you need about process by following the admissions accounts for each school.
So it looks like we have one last little question for UNCW. So what are the admission requirements for UNCW?
That is a really great question. I don't know that we'll have time to answer since we're right at 10:45, but I know that your questions are going to get emailed to us. So if you ask that question, could you email me using my email address right there, and I would be happy to follow up with you. Thank you guys for having us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, students and panelists. Great job. Thank you so much for participating in our events today. If you did ask a question that did not get answered, we will be sending all questions to the panelists so they can reach out to you individually and get back in touch with you. As soon as you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey. If you could take some time to fill that out, that would be great. We do have a ton of other sessions happening throughout the next few weeks. So if you go to CACRAO, CACRAO.org, you'll be able to sign up for any sessions or also the individual college sessions that will be happening in the next couple weeks. These institutions will be there. And then the recording for this session will be available at CACRAO.org in the next week. Thank you so much and have a great day.